No, it's great because I think so much about, not only my own experience but other independent filmmakers that is, the craft is king, and the content is king. And you said, okay, we'll get these distributors and these salespeople involved with the creative process. How does that affect your creative process and, the film that you ultimately want to create? I mean, I think part of what you're saying is kind of get over the disillusionment that you're going to be, everything every content that you create is going to be completely your own, you know, special candlelit with the roses or whatnot. Uh, is that what you're saying, or can you kind of figure
No,
out how
yeah.
to keep your creative identity and your creative dignity without, as you say, selling out? Right.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, but again, it requires you to really think about what you want to accomplish out of something. If you're, if you have a story that's very personal to you that needs to be told, that's fine too. You can stick to your guns. You can find alternative sources of funding and find alternative sources of distribution. That's great, but just don't expect the same level of results that you would, let's say, being in a cooperation effort with a distributor. So that's something to note. I'm not saying that you have to give them everything, and the thing is that they, you're kind of the police of your own content. You've got to make sure that you keep it within the realm of where you want to go. There's going to be compromises, but I think you just have to get over that and understand that it's a team process. Regardless of how much you want to think you can make a movie by yourself, you can't do it, right? Like you need actors, you need people to hold the boom mic. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
direct and hold the boom mic and try to work the camera at the same time. That would be crazy. Uh,
Absolutely.
so you need people to help you, and it's the same thing. And your boom mic guys may say, "Hey, you know what? I can't hear them. Can you have them say that louder?" But I need them to whisper. But can I get them to say that louder? You got to cooperate. You got to have some level of give or take. And I think if you can't do that, then you're in the wrong line of work. I think you need to maybe go into like writing novels,
Right.
really, where you
Absolutely.
have ultimate control over everything.
Or just be a screenwriter, and just try and
Yes,
sell. Right.
try
Yeah.
to sell them. Because I think if you're on the whole thing as a filmmaker, it is a team effort. It's not a one man band. I'm gonna wear a beret and smoke a long cigar and just be really creative and artsy fartsy, and nobody will disrespect my work. Just get over it.
Yeah.
I just people are at you from the second you start to the second you finish, and even into distribution land, people are still trying to change your stuff and pirate your stuff and do things. So it's a world, it's a way of life, it's a way of being. You just have to kind of understand, and that's the way it is. There's no way getting around it until they come up with a program where you just hit the render button, put your script in and hit render, goes to a billion people and they send you a check. I don't, if
A
they could ever do
magical
that.
machine. You just put your idea, you put your idea cloud into the machine, and it spits out a movie.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're not quoting Hillary when you say it takes a village, are you?
Well, I could probably, I could quote her. I
Is
should have
that
said,
is that your endorsement, 2016? No, we don't want to get political here. Okay.
yeah, we'll keep that. I try to keep politics and religion just, we could talk
I
off
like
the,
it.
but yeah,
Now you can create a character within your movie that speaks on a specific, and then he gets killed by some crazy zombie alien.
right, right. It,
Uh, yeah. So quickly, we're gonna let you go here in a minute, but we got a few more questions here for you. And I do say the royal we here there, but talk a little bit about Territory 8, because I know that was your. I don't know if that was your first independent feature, but that seems to me as if your first independent feature that really had legs, right? And had that where you really got the distribution out. And I saw you post a while back like, "Hey, it's in Walmart," kind of joking, but I know that all of us as filmmakers dream, like, even if it's in the, like, 3 for $5 bin, like, like just having that DVD case, like, in the wrap package, it's just the
yeah.
same as a musical artist getting that, single in the CD store that they don't even have anymore because, it's all online. But talk about Territory 8 quickly, and then other maybe new projects you have coming up.
Yeah, sure. Well, Territory 8 was, a movie that I got the distribution companies kind of talking with me ahead of time, and they helped kind of shape what it became. But at the end of the day, it was that collaboration, and going into Walmart was a huge risk because I mean, there's a lot of cost involved in terms of getting product into a major retailer.
Yeah.
Is always risked at that level because you have to sell DVDs, you have to sell physical products, and it's not like downloads, where it doesn't cost anything. But Territory Eight's been very good. I mean, it was I guess, yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I've had other movies that have gone into distribution, but for me, Territory Eight was an opportunity for me to really build that relationship with a distributor, and it's leading to the future. And the future is me working on a new project called Domicile.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and that project is it's a science fiction film involving Area 51 and an alien and all kinds of stuff. But we're giving the distributors what they need to make to sell it, and it's giving me what I need to tell kind of a unique science fiction story. So it's a lot of fun, but that relationship came from Territory Eight, and Territory Eight, being a post-apocalyptic movie, has done very well for us overseas. I mean, it's
That's
been
so in right now. He's so hot. No, like
you're right.
Zoolander. No, but it's great. Like that's kind of goes back to what you're saying. Not only I'm sure sci-fi seems to be one of your main interests in what you want to create, but knowing what the demand is ahead of time, knowing what the audiences go for, right? Seeing the success of something like 28 Days or The Walking Dead, that's a almost like a feature, serial show. But yeah, that sounds great. And what was it like to, sort of create that kind of the production line of like, hey, I'm really going to need some like real effects and using all that green screen, but I'm sure you're combining it with also sort of real life on camera special effects. Talk about that process and what that's like.
Well, science fiction always requires a team, and it's something like Territory Eight was more of a post-apocalyptic thriller drama kind of thing versus your typical science fiction type movie. But at the end of the day, we try to use. Frankly, I like, even though I'm sitting in front of a green screen, I use green screen quite sparingly, in terms of what I need it for. I try to be as practical as possible, just because it helps create the realism, I think.
Yeah.
And if you've got a huge budget, then you can pass. But even like the major studios, you'll see stuff and it's like, eh. I watch a lot of new movies that I'm not really into. I mean, I'll probably be chastised for saying this, but like, even some of the recent comic book movies,
Yeah.
they're almost like watching video game animatics. They're not
I
even like watching real movies.
totally agree.
Now that ages me a little bit because I know that's kind of what modern cinema audiences are demanding.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I personally like, I like the clunkiness. I like the ridges and dust and dirt on things that you just can't get from,
George Romero.
yeah, from CGI. That's why I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the new Star Wars film, because I think J.J. Abrams is one of those filmmakers that I think understands that balance.
Absolutely.
Whereas like he's like, oh, let's just shoot the entire movie on a green screen. I think
Which is more like George Lucas, because George Lucas once was quoted as saying if he could have like actor, like you said, like just a magic thing that just like spits out your film. His ultimate goal or his ultimate dream is to have like complete robots, right? Be actors.
Well,
That's
but his thing is about control. His thing is
Right.
about controlling his idea.
Which-
It's not so much the application. It's more about the idea being sacred. And,
Right.
and you respect that. I mean, whether or not that connects and resonates with audiences is whatever. But at the end of the day, he at least stayed true to what he wanted to accomplish.
Agreed.
And you have to admire him for that.